Guys, deluded YouTube's N'Golo Kante, man. Saturday, North London derby, man. Let's get straight into the preview. Let's not waste any more time. It's a big thing, man. Low key, it's the most important North London derby in a few years. Of course, I'm exaggerating, and obviously, it's the start of the week. I expect near enough. Thursday, the fever will kick in, and we'll realize. I mean, last year, yeah, technically last year, last fixture, it was buzzing. I can't really understand it. It's really important for both sides because Spurs have got over their recent wobble. We're still in ours, but we kind of look to turn a stone. And I say that lightly. Both sides want to get into the Champions League spots. Both sides are not in the Champions League spots, and I don't really think both sides will do it. Spurs more likely at this moment in time, clearly, to do it than us, and they can always prove me wrong. Any side in the top six can get that, and I maintain that. But both sides fundamentally are out of that. So yeah, man. Let's start with Spurs. I expect to see a lot of rotation in this. Well, in fact, let me say that lightly. I'm changing my mind. They've obviously got FA Cup replay on a Wednesday, so we've got more of a rest period than them. Use that wisely and actually be coaching and you doing tactics, Arsenal. But they've got a replay against Newport. I expect them to win. I'd love to be wrong. Come on, Newport. I'll be supporting them as always, of course. But you'd expect to see some rotation. They either go at it two ways. They either rotate the side in regards to the game at 12:30. Bearing in mind it's at 12:30 on Saturday and they're playing on Wednesday. You guys know these players nowadays love all these sort of things. They either take it down the route of rotating, or they just play their strongest side. Do a thing where they put the game to bed by the hour mark, and there's key players, Kane, assuming he plays, Dele the same, Eriksen, etc. get rolled off. Obviously, there's only 3 subs, but you get the point. They took 4 good points off 2 recent big games. Credit where it's due. I know we don't like Spurs, but we have to give credit, man. Liverpool and United, 4 points. That's very good going into it. If you offered them that before it, you come on now. They take that. Yeah, man. Like I said, they have to play on Wednesday, and Spurs are in that an important month because they've gone through 2 tough games. They've got another game in us against a top 6 rival. They've got Juventus coming as well. So yeah, forgive me if I'm wrong, but in my lunch break I checked and they haven't lost since December. Spurs fans, hit me up if I'm wrong with that one, but they haven't lost since December, where they got done over by City, and there's no shame in that. City have been smacking everyone. They sit 5th at the time of making this, and Chelsea are playing right now, so this is all going to change, so don't get hung up on this data. They sit a point behind Chelsea, so at the time of making this, so they can either, if Chelsea lose, they can potentially move above them, beating us, or they can just simply keep putting the pressure on if Chelsea win, and it keeps going on, and they keep waiting for a slip up. In us, we sit 6th. Quite rightly, down to our own doing, with 4 points off Spurs. Again, our own fault. Kind of beating them earlier in the season kind of means nothing at this point. Obviously, in hindsight, it might make the difference, but right now it doesn't. With the next 2 games, in my opinion, we've got the North London derby and the league leaders twice. In the next 3 games, 3 cup finals essentially, because we need to kind of win all 3 of them to have any chance of the top 4. And like I said, it's low-key the most important North London derby. And we need to take lessons from the last meeting, to be honest. We need to press them high. We need to cut out, again, same thing, cut out Vertonghen. Vertonghen's a baller, you know. You cut out Vertonghen, you force him to keep playing to Lloris. Lloris has made the most errors for that team. An error will happen. Davinson Sanchez, for me, is a good defender, but if you pull him out into the channels, there's some problems as well. We need to press as well. For me, the first 5 minutes against Spurs is very important, because with their recent games, something seems to change. Either they score or something happens. Liverpool, there was an early goal. United, there was an early goal. Typically, good or worse, the tone is set for a Spurs game in the first 5. Obviously, sometimes if the game's drawing and they're behind, Kane does his thing. But essentially, you get where I'm going. We need to do our same thing. I don't think Pochettino will go in there with a pivot again, because it kind of didn't go right against Liverpool. He kind of got his tactics wrong. Dembele and my man, it looked like a pivot, forgive me if I'm wrong. They kind of got overran. I say a pivot lightly because Eriksen's obviously hovering about, but it looked like they were getting overrun. So I do believe he will overstock the midfield against us. So I must admit, we're in a tough position. Do we now do the same, to be honest? Because we know Spurs, they're going to outwork us in midfield. They've got some workmen like Sissoko. Dele Alli's going to run more than a couple midfielders. Obviously, stats might not back it up, but they'll be galvanised. Crucially for me as well, we're going away from home. Yes, we can run bants and say we're more comfortable at Wembley than Spurs because we've won things. But you saw against United, the 12th man, it goes under people's head. They were crucial. They were gassing Spurs already. You saw last year at White Hart Lane. It's not White Hart Lane, of course. gassing Spurs. We cannot let them feed off the 12th man. It's a North London derby. These little margins make all the difference. We have kind of, in my opinion, I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm going to say it, have got more to lose. Like I said, man, we need to be careful of the likes of, I've spoken about the defensively. We need to force them long. Kane's gonna have no joy if he can't get ball to feet and ball into channels. If we keep pressing them, we force them long. Kane's outnumbered. We win our aerial battles. Kane's obviously at this point is gonna now try and knock it to Dele Alli, which we need to watch his late runs. We need to be on that as well. They may change as well. We got to be careful of people pulling into the channels. Trippier, you saw what he did against United as well. If you put crosses in, you don't know what can happen. We need to stop the early crosses. Again, Dele and Kane are roaming. Don't forget man like Son and Eriksen creeping. And there's some guys at Spurs that go under the radar. Spurs have shown they can be frustrated, like in the Watford game, I believe, as well, if we can remain congested. There's occasions when their defence switch off. Dyer against United, against us before, against Liverpool, I'm so sure against Brighton or Leicester, whichever game it was, I remember talking about in one of my vids, he's messed up as well, so he does have a degree to turn off, and I like that, so I'm not getting at him in that respect at all. So yeah, man, it's a weakness of his. The first 5 minutes are crucial, like I already said. We've got three away wins all season. We need to fatten up. We need to fix up. We really need to fix up, man. We really need to fix up. In regards to the stats, man, we've got 7 losses versus Spurs. We've got 5. We've conceded 35, quite rightly, and they've conceded 24. They've got a better defense. Goals scored equal, both on 51, which is, you can look at that as Kane is a phenomenal footballer. You can look at that as Arsenal have got many different goal scorers. It's crazy in that regard. Clean sheets, they've got 11 and we've got 9 in case I messed that up. But finally, in regards to the lineup, I can't lie, I'm going for broke, guys. You guys know I like to think about the other side, but I'm going for broke, guys, man. I'm going for something different, man. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm going with Cech in goal. Bellerin, Monreal at left. Well, Monreal might be injured. If Monreal's not there, then Kohler's going to have to play. In fact, if Kohler's not there, Maitland-Niles. But assuming Monreal's fit, I'm going with Monreal. I'm going with Bellerin on the right-hand side. I'm going with Cech in goal. Centre halves, Mustafi and Koscielny, don't let me down partnership. Midfield, I would say Wilshere because it's a derby and he feeds off it, but I don't think he'll start. So I'm saying Xhaka. I'm going for broken. Ramsey's going to keep his place and man scored a hat-trick. Ozil in the 10 role, but I want him to drop and make it a midfield 3. Mkhitaryan on the right because we need him to do what he did against Everton. I'm going with Aubameyang, and it will probably be a Iwobi, but personally I'm going with Lacazette in the inside forward role. Let them rotate and these things. That front 3, press that back 3, back 4, however Spurs set up, press them. The midfield, join them. We haven't got a defensive mid. I'd love to take out Xhaka and put in defensive mid and things like that, but it is what it is. Guys, this is the preview. Obviously, all of the players starting are subject to change. We don't know what Wenger's going to say in the press conference, especially over Monreal. But to recap again, final time in case I messed it up. Cech, Bellerin, Maitland-Niles if Monreal isn't there, but Monreal, Koscielny, Mustafi, Xhaka, Ramsey, Mesut Ozil, Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. Guys, thank you for watching the preview. Hopefully we do this thing. Come on, Arsenal. Guys, deluded. I'm out.